How's it going, everybody? DeviantGamer here, and welcome to another Kuza video tutorial. Today I'm going to be talking about protecting your land and some of the cool things you can do with our protection system. So here you are right at the beginning of Kuza. You'll pretty much, the first thing you'll do is walk out of this clock tower, and two things that you can do to start off. One, you can just jump off and explore, but you're going to be very close to spawn, and a lot of people just jump off and don't walk very far. So if you want a place that's kind of a little bit more remote, I strongly suggest you use the hot air balloon. All you do is flip this and it'll teleport you randomly. Most of the time it's in the water, it seems like, because we have a lot of oceans in our area. If it ever spawns you in stone, which only happens if you appear before the land generates, it can sometimes happen, quickly type in /spawn and you'll teleport back to Kuza before you suffocate to death because you'll have full health. So if that ever happens to you, just quickly /spawn and you'll be back. So I did a little bit of scouting, and this is a nice spot. I like it. I'll go ahead and claim this. So all you need to do is get a chest. Obviously, because it's a tutorial, I went ahead and skipped the process of crafting a chest. You should know by now, hopefully. All you do is just place a chest down. And the first chest you place, if you don't have any claimed land already, will create a 9x9 area of protection. You, by default, have 100 blocks available to you right at the start. So right off the bat, you can go ahead and expand this, and I'll show you how to do that in a bit. But this is a nice, just easy way of protecting your land, because a lot of people, the first thing that they'll do is craft a chest to store some of their items. And so this will automatically protect that area. It'll protect it all the way from the sky to about 10 blocks underneath your chest. But don't worry, people, yes, can mine below that 10 block mark. But while you're mining, because, let's say you have a home here, you want to set up a mine, while you're digging, the lowest part of your protection will expand with you. So the further you dig, the further down the protection goes. So let's say you want to build a house in caves. Don't worry about it. It will protect it all the way, down to bedrock if you mine all the way down to bedrock. So just keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and go over some of the things that are protected. This area from this glowstone block to that one is the area. So this spot right here is protected, but this spot right here is not. So people can mine this area. If you have a chest that's outside your area, it is lootable. We do allow unprotected areas to be looted. Also, PvP is in the wild. We suggest friendly PvP, no, slaughtering innocent bystanders just for the heck of it. If they are annoyed by it, please respect that. But in your own property, you are PvP protected, so you don't have to worry about, working on a crafting table or looking at your chest and someone kills you or anything like that. Also, in your area, not only are the blocks protected, but any inventory-like items, so chests, furnaces, hoppers, droppers, all that stuff is also protected. Any animals that might be in your property are also protected. Only you can shear sheep or kill pigs or anything like that. They can lure your animals out, so definitely put your animals in a pen so that they can't lure them out. A couple other things to note about your protections, things like trapdoors and wooden doors. Anybody can use it, so it's a nice way of, if you want people to be able to view your house and that kind of stuff, build these at the front door. People can open them, check it out. But things like fence gates, only you can use those, so you can use them for your animal pens and not have to worry about people opening them up and allowing your animals out. Buttons, both wooden and stone, can only be activated by you as the player, but things like pressure plates can be activated by anybody, including mobs, obviously, for wooden pressure plates items. So if you don't want somebody to be able to go into an area, put an iron door and a button, and only you will be able to open that up and get through. But if you put a pressure plate in front of it, people will be able to step on it and walk through the iron door. Now, over time, you might want to expand that land, but over time also, your land border will kind of disappear. You're like, well, where is it? Well, those glowstone blocks and gold blocks are only a visual sight on yours. You don't get free gold blocks in the corner of your property. But it is a nice way of saying where your property border is. So how do you figure out what it is? Well, just hold a stick and right-click, and it will show you any claimed area on that block. And you can do it from a distance, too. So if I looked at that tree and right-clicked it, and somebody owned an area that tree was included, it would border it out, tell me who owns it, what the size is and when they were last logged on. So maybe somebody built a house near you, and you want to be, well, who is that? You can use that stick to figure out whose house that is, because most likely it's in their protected area. So using a stick is a nice way of figuring out where the range is. Now, how do you actually expand it? Well, using the power of GMs, I went ahead and crafted myself a golden shovel, which is what you need to expand and claim new land. As you can see, it says you may claim up to 19 more blocks. Like I said, you have 100 blocks at the very beginning, but it only claims a 9x9. So you can claim up to a 10x10, which is the minimum size by default. So all you do is you right click one of these corners and you can expand it. So I expanded it that way. Obviously I can't shrink it because it says it needs to be like 10x10. And now I'm out of claimed spots. I have 0 blocks left. So if I want to claim more land than this, I need to go back to spawn. But before you do that, I suggest setting your home, because, well, you want to be able to go back to your home. You don't want to go back to spawn and then have to walk all the way back to your property. So definitely do /set home before venturing off your land. But if you go here, this is our realtor building. If you want to see it from the front, I'll go ahead and quickly run out here. This is the real estate office. All you do is right click the sign with an empty hand, just like any of our shops. You'll be able to not only buy land, but you can also sell land. So maybe you have more blocks than you need, or you're shrinking your property because you need a little bit extra dricks for something. You can sell it at 1 block for 0.5 dricks, so 2 blocks of land equals 1 drick. You can also buy maps here, but the main thing you'll be doing is buying land, which is 1 drick for 1 block, so it's a 1-to-1 ratio. Now, I have 500 dricks available to me, so I'm going to buy 500 more blocks. Now, I'm going to just go /home. And /home because I have a couple other homes set up by mistake. But here's my home again, back where I set it. Now, only peons and commoners, they'll only be able to set up 1 home. Higher ranks, you can do more than 1 home. So if you rank up to something like a baron or a merchant, or a noble, you'll be able to do more homes than just that 1. But anyways, now that I have 500 blocks available to me, there's 2 things I can do. I can now expand this land, and I can expand it in 1 direction or multiple directions at once. I can also expand it without having to actually click the block. So maybe I want to expand it up to this ocean area. Instead of having to build a dirt block there, I can actually right click looking at that water block, and it will move it there. I can also move it from that spot to another spot just by right clicking the glowstone block. I can also set up another plot. So maybe, that's my home over there. But an island over, I want to set up my animal farm because there's a whole bunch of animals here. To set up a new plot, just hold your shovel, right-click a spot, and you'll get these diamond blocks. Once again, it's only visual on your side. And then right-click another spot. Now, it needs to be a 10x10, so there we go. So that's a 10x10 area. It's about to become night, so let me just turn it to day to make it mobs don't spawn and stuff. So this is a second spot. I have one over there. I can check that out with the stick. So if I click over there, there we go. So that's my home, and here's my animal farm. Now, you can also abandon claims. So maybe you don't want this animal farm anymore. Just /abandon claims. You can also abandon all your claims, but that will do everything. So be careful with that one. But abandon claim will abandon the claim that you are standing in. So if I don't want this one anymore, maybe I want to use this block somewhere else, I can abandon it and I get that 100 blocks back. You can also trust people to specific claims. So maybe you have a friend and he wants to help you out with your animal farm. So what you can do is /trust and then the player's name. So Majestic, come on, Majestic Wind. Player's not found because he's not in the server. But if they were on the server, it would allow you to trust that person. Now, that person, when they have trust, can do everything that you can do besides trust other players. So they can build, they can access your chest, access your doors, and all that stuff. So be careful with that one. If you want them to just be able to access your containers, so in a bit I'll show you how to kind of set up what a town would look like, but maybe you want to set up something where people can access like that chest over there, but you don't want them to build anything. You just want them to be able to access chests and crafting tables and anvils and that kind of stuff. That would be /container trust and then the person's name as well. And that would allow them only container access in that property, nothing else. You can also do /access trust. So that would allow people to be able to use buttons and levers in your property so that people can, get around your house. So maybe you have a piece of property and you set it up in such a way that people can't enter it, but you want friends to be able to enter it. So you can set up a piece of property around the door. Once again, it has to be a 10 by 10. So make sure that maybe it's like a gate or something, like a gatehouse, and access trust just to friends who you want to be able to enter and exit your property, but don't do anything else. That's another option you could do. And then obviously on trust would allow you to remove that trusted person, and trust list will allow you to list everybody who's trusted and what their specific trust level is. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you another nifty feature here, but let me go ahead and set up a bigger area. Alright, so I went ahead and made this plot the biggest that I can for a 600 block allowance. Now remember, I only have 2 blocks available to me, but if I wanted to move this block one more out, it would cost me 26 blocks because it counts the whole length. So the bigger your property is, the more it's going to cost to expand that property. So expanding it, to a 600 block range right away, not that hard. But over time, it will become more and more difficult. And if I didn't already say it, you can see how much money you have just with /money, and you get money by playing the game. So every hour, depending on what your rank is, you'll get a certain amount of Drix just automatically added to your account. You can also vote for the server. That will give you 25 Drix per vote. You can also donate to the server. $1 will give you 300 Drix. And you can also trade with other players. So maybe you want some more Drix, you can give somebody like a diamond and they will give you some Drix. So those are all different ways of earning currency so that you can, get more land or buy items. But anyways, let me go ahead and show you a nifty trick. So like I talked about earlier, let's say you have a gatehouse and you want people to, certain people to be able to enter that gatehouse, but no one else. Well, what you can do is hold your shovel here, and then you want to do subdivide claims and hit enter, and it turns your shovel into subdivide mode. What subdivide mode allows you to do is select any area in your plot. So I'm going to select here, and then select another corner. So here, and it subdivides it. So this plot right here is a subdivision. Now you can see that your subdivisions can actually be smaller than a 10 by 10 minimum. So you can literally put it right around a gate. Much easier than setting up a plot specific to the gate, because that has to be a 10 by 10. But this one, you can make it as big or small as you want to. And as you can see, it also looks different. It has this kind of wool and iron look instead of the gold and glowstone. And if you don't have it, obviously you don't see it, but if you click with a stick in your area, you can see all your subdivisions very easily. Now, a subdivision is basically a claim inside of a claim, so it doesn't cost you any more blocks to do. It's completely free. But the benefit of it is you can set up permissions specific to this region. So for instance, I'm going to move this chest. And remember, placing the chest builds the claim. Removing it doesn't do anything. You can move your chest afterwards. I'm going to put a chest in here. And I want to be able to allow specific friends to be able to access this chest. So what you can do is do, container chest. Oops. Container trust. And the person's name. So FE Python. Let's just say that. So now FE Python has access to this container. Nobody else. So if I type in trust list, it tells me FE Python has container trust. That means he can come in here, open up this chest, but not be able to break any of the dirt or build anything or anything else besides being able to access the chests in this area. But if I step outside this area, like right here, and do in the list, you can see I don't have the container trust anymore. That's only in this claim. If I stand in this subdivision claim, once again, nothing specific. But maybe I want FE Python to be able to build in this area. Maybe I'm selling a plot of land for somebody to build a house on. Well, I can set it up easily, just /trust and their name, so FE Python. That means that, once again, in this area, FE Python can build. So he can cut this tree down, he can dig underneath, he can build whatever he wants in this little plot of land. But he can only do it in that plot of land. He can't do it in your main property, and he can't do it in the area that you made only container trust. A good way of doing this, set up like a community farm. You can set up a farm here, and anybody who has a plot, maybe you set up like another subdivision here. Remember, every time you go back to your gold shovel, it goes back to the default mode. So let's say right here, so from that block to, let's just say like this block here, this is where somebody owns a house. So once again, I want to trust FEPython to this property. So he can now build his house here. This is our community storage. So he is allowed to store things. Maybe we kind of have like a share resource for cobblestone and dirt, general materials that a lot of people use. We can have a container share between the whole community. And then this could be our farm. So I could build a little farm here or a tree farm here. And everybody who owns a house in my land can now farm here. And you can set up a community rule to your property that this is only meant for farming. People break the rule, you can remove them from your trust list using the same onTrust FEPython. And remember, the onTrust would only do it to this section. So if I did trust list, oopsies, no space, oopsies. Oh, I forgot an R in there, trust list. You can see he's not in that permission anymore, but he's still in every other permission that I kept him in. So you can, you know, break, if you have violators of the rules, you can remove their permissions. Another nice thing to note though, if you do give permission to somebody to like own a piece of land, another nice thing to give them other than just the access trust is what's called permission trust. Permission trust. There we go. And once again, FEPython. Now, if you check trust list, you can see he has build rights and he has manager rights. What manager rights allow a person to do is trust other people. So in this area and in this area, FEPython can't step in this area and say, I'm going to also trust this, spelling it completely wrong, by the way, to Majestic Wind. Well, he can't because he only has access to build this area. He doesn't have access to change the trust rules. But this is now his house. You allowed him to buy this plot of land, maybe for a one-time fee, maybe for a monthly rent, whatever you feel like doing in your own town. But now he can do trust list Majestic Wind. And now Majestic Wind has trust rights in this as well as FEPython. And FEPython can now do onTrust Majestic Wind to remove it from his own list, because this is now technically kind of like his property. He can trust whoever he wants. He can do access trust whoever he wants. He has almost complete full rights, but you as the owner of the main property have overall rights. So you can still remove FEPython from this land if he breaks any of your rules or he doesn't pay his rent or whatever have you. You can still do that. Another nice thing to do container and access trust for is maybe you have a property and you have houses pre-built and you don't want them building houses, but you want them to be able to own the house. You can do container and access trust to an area surrounding that house, and they could open the doors, they can set up, they can fill their chests, use any crafting table you put in there, and be able to do anything you could do in a house besides change the look of the house. So there's a lot of cool things you can do. I'm going to show you one more cool little nifty trick, but I need another player on the server, so I'll be right back. Alright, I hopped into my alternate account so I can show you this. There's FEPython. This is his land. I can't break anything. If I had any building blocks, I wouldn't be able to build anything. It's completely protected. I can't even access any of his containers. It just tells me I don't have permission to use FEPython stuff, which is perfectly fine, because what I'm showing you in this snippet is how to donate items. So here's a chest that says food for the poor. Well, yeah, you seem a little thin. I'll give you some food. All you do is hold an item, whatever you want to donate to the person, and you left click the chest. It will tell you to give away the item in your hand, left click it again. So if I click it again, the bread disappears from my hand and now is in this chest. So now FEPython could walk over here, open his chest, and get anything that people put in there. And it could literally be anything. I could put in this stone axe. And as you see, it doesn't ask me that if you want to put it in, left click again. It pretty much gives you that warning once. And until you log out, or if you go to another person's property, anytime you left click this or any chest you will put items in. So be a little careful by not accidentally giving them away your diamond sword without meaning to, because there's no way you can get it back. But you can also do it as a stack. So here I have 2 items, and if I click here, once again, it's a different chest, not this chest, it's a different one. It will say, once again, to donate, left click again. So I'm going to left click again, and now I put in 2 items. I can put in a whole stack of items if I want to. So, and as you can see, this doesn't have a sign. It doesn't matter if it has mossy cobblestone or sign. Any chest works in that property. Has that ability to be able to accept donations. It's a good way of, maybe you build a really cool house. You could put a chest in front saying, you know, you like the build. I would greatly appreciate some help. And people can donate items. Like me, I build a lot with glass. So asking for, you know, have any free glass or sand, please donate. And I could, you know, put a little donation thing. And people can be able to, you know, accept anything, you know, donate some glass and sand to my project that way. Another nifty little trick, this doesn't really have to do with the protection itself, but what you could do is you could set up a chest right outside your property. So you could have a chest like right here and your property be right there. And on your property you have a sign that says free stuff. And this chest, because it's outside your property, anybody can open it up. So some random person could be checking out your land and you have a little chest with free stuff. You're like, oh sweet. You open that up and you could toss in anything that you have extra of, like cobblestone or redstone or whatever you have like just an excessive amount of. You could put in a free chest outside your property and people can kind of visit it and take it, and then they can put stuff in that they want to put in, or you can have another donation chest, like an item for an item, and hopefully people are trustworthy enough to do it. But those are just a few of the things you can do with our server's protection plugin. Hopefully this tutorial helped you out and taught you some cool tricks. I know it was a bit long, but there's a lot of things I wanted to show you guys. If you have any questions, just comment below or ask any of the GMs on the server. We'd be glad to help you out. And don't forget, when you're on our server, /help has an amazing help menu. It explains everything that any of the ranks can do. So if you want to know what powers you can do as a commoner, just click that and it'll go ahead and tell you right away. So it's a nice easy way of being able to learn all of the features that our server has. And we are always welcome for questions as well. And as always, stay epic. This is DeviantGamer signing off. Adios.